Hey guys, it's Vanity, Ezel back on Carve Vanguard deck profile, so hope you guys enjoyed them. Like, comment, subscribe, and sorry. I don't know why I said deck profile, I mean as on the Vanity reveals. So today we have our last few reveals from set 3, which is kind of sad because I actually enjoyed set 3. Got me back into doing deck profiles again. But yeah, so let's go and cover all the reveals we got because honestly some of these cards are really cool, and we'll see what we have after at the end. So first up we have Freezing Magic Photos, grade 2 and a set 5k shield, 10k base, continues to be Vanguard, it has only Genesis first claim, it becomes Genesis because Bushy has been printing a lot of these cards in this set. Then auto and placed on rearguard circle if you have a grade 3 grade Vanguard with Minerva in its card name. So blast 2 to choose 2 of your normies from your drops with the same name as each other and without Sentinel. If you chose 2 cards, you put 1 into the hand and return the other to deck and shuffle it. Okay. I'm really questioning why Bushy is giving some decks the abilities to search PGs. I forgot which decks can do it now. Oh wait, no. Keter is definitely one of them, and I think either Stowy has always had one since Zorga existed, but I think there's another one in the form of, actually I don't remember what the deck is called, but I'm pretty sure it's in Dark States. But I don't know why Keter can't have a second PG cycler, but whatever, fair enough. Either way, though, it's a solid grade 2, and it does still specifically require Minerva for her skill, so she's nice. She's a good 3 over 4 of. Then we have Colorful Beastmaster Arvil, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto and placed on rearguard circle, may soul charge 1. Then auto rearguard once per turn when your other unit is placed in the combat unit until end of the turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 regard, this unit gets plus 5 the power. 13k base, if something is placed by anything, doesn't mean it's by effects, it can be from soul, it can be from hand, it can be from deck, doesn't matter, it's a free 13k base, and it's a free non-mandatory soul charge, so if you want to soul charge because you need the resource, you can, or if you don't want to because it might deck you out, you don't have to. All around, I love Arvil a lot, and I definitely would have ran it in my Lukier build if this wasn't revealed after I did the deck profile, because Bushy choosing to put those 2 Dark States deck last minute made me have to record those last minute. Still mad about this. Either way, the Arvil is a very solid grade 1. I do like her a lot, and I think in any like Dark States deck that wants a soul charge and maybe a free 5k, she's a good 3 over 4 of. Then we have Wisdom Crown, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, continues rearguard. If 3 or more cards are placed into your soul by your card's ability this turn, plus them does a power. 18k base, that's honestly just really good, and it's just about if 3 or more cards are placed into your soul by a card ability at, not even just at once, just in general. So like if you soul charge 3 times, you get the 18k. It doesn't have to be all in the same move, which is honestly pretty good for like a booster and or just swinger in general. So I do like her a lot. She's very generic. The entirety of Dark States could use her. I'm thinking of one very specific grade 3 with a sword that is a promo, or not a promo card, but it doesn't have a real ride line. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That can use this card very well. So 3 of, if only her ability stacked, then that card would be so much better. Then we have our new ride line that I've been waiting for so long because it reminded me of Masquerade Ghost from Shadowverse, which was my favorite Shadowcraft deck because they were like these dead guys but like had a really cool party theme going, and these guys pretty much remind me exactly of that, and that is the Sacrifice Glass line. So first we have Innocent Invitation, Ra La La Pokoko. That is probably not how you say any of that. I would be damned if I said that right on pure accident. Greater 0 boost, 5k, shows this kid base. Auto road pipe for second draw a card, standard starter, no spot free draw if you go second. You do not need this as your starter, but I mean, like I said in the deck profile for this one, I run it as it anyways because, yeah, he looks cool. Then we have Welcoming Flower Basket Hop Pop, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto Vanguard. If you start your ride phase, you have to 1 Debauchery Feasting Chefry from your ride deck, ride it as stand, and if you roll both you and your opponent draw a card, you cannot ride for the turn. Okay. I normally hate the free ride deck cards because a lot of them have the exact same skill. I love Hop Pop because it's the only one that does it uniquely. Yes, you get the free ride, but you and your opponent both get a draw. So there's a benefit out of this because, you get a draw out of it, but you also have to think about it, is it worth doing it because your opponent gets a draw? And as I say in the deck profile for this deck, because I've already pre-recorded the deck profile for this one, if you're playing against a rush deck and your opponent went down to 2 hand cards and you're getting to ride to grade 2, you have to think in that moment, is it worth using the skill to ride for free to get a draw, even though it's going to give your opponent a draw while they already aggroed you, or do you willingly ditch the card just so your opponent stays at low hand cards? All around, I love Hop Hop a lot. It definitely adds some thinking to it, and it is the most unique ride deck card by far, and I love it a lot, so one of in the ride deck. Then we have Debauchery Feasting Chefry. I said deck profile at the start of this, and now my brain is combining Ezel the Vanities with Dark State, or not Dark State's deck profiles. I can't talk now. Anyways, Great Twin 5k shield, 10k base, auto and Rotopalm by one who governs rituals, Sacrifice Glass. So boss 1, search after 1 sweet bait, reveal it, put it to hand, shuffle your deck. Okay, cool. Searches the order, which is nice. And then auto and place it on rearguard circle, choose a face of grade 3, grade card with Grand Dogma in its card name. Your damage zone, you may put a card, you may put into your hand. If you do, choose a card from your hand, put your damage zone. All around, pretty solid. I now realize this says the words face up, which means it has to be a face up card. Okay, I think I may have given the false information in the deck profile, but being able to swap out a hand card for one of your most important cards is all around pretty solid. I do love her a lot, and just by her being rode upon, you play a simple Soul Blast, which is a resource only used by one other card in the actual deck. Gets you one of, in my opinion, the strongest, if not the strongest order of all time. So we'll get to that later, but one of Sheffrey. Then we have one who governs ritual, Sacrifice Glass. God, I love this boy. The moon in the background, the staff, the hat. He's got it all. He's got presentation. I am so tempted to put the Megamind scene right now. Anyways, Auto Vanguard, at the start of your main phase, you get when your opponent's rear guard is retired from, or not your opponent's rear guard, when your opponent's unit is retired from rear guard circle or the guard circle, you energy charge 1 ton of turn. That ability is so good because it is staying. You, unless your opponent finds a way to get rid of that skill, even if like you superior ride, that skill staying because you the player get it. And basically now if they guard or they lose rear guards, you're going to get a free resource every time. And then Auto Vanguard, at the end of battle, this unit attached to anything, Energy Blast 4, search your deck, hand, or drop zone for up to 1 manifested greater being Grand Dogma. Ride that stand, it gets 15,000 power and loses 2 drives until end of turn. If you search the deck, you shuffle it, and if you road, your opponent may draw a card. All around, pretty solid. It's pretty much what I keep calling the DZ deck start bosses, but better. Because while yes, it does use Energy Blast 4 like they do, it's in a deck that actually can consistently energy charge, so it's not constantly losing out on it, unlike the DZ bosses where they don't have any energy chargers on their own. So all around, this card's pretty solid, you know. It gets you superior ride from literally anywhere but the damage zone or the bind zone. It makes the superior ride a 28k base guaranteed, and not to mention the fact that it gives your opponent 2 draw a card, which they're going to, but they don't have to if they don't want to. But like if they're close to deck out or they feel like they're going to see a trigger, you can just force them not to draw a card, which all around is pretty solid. And again, the energy charge skill is very much appreciated because, say for example, you go down to 3 energy with this skill. Well, now your opponent kind of has to guard if they want to stop you from getting this. Also, the fact that this can just proc by attacking into a rear guard is kind of fun. But to my understanding, this is such attack to the Vanguard, at least from the fandom I think I pulled this from. But we'll see. Either way, though, it's very solid grade 3. I like it a lot. I think he's cool, so that's great. But Bushy made this deck even better. Not only did this deck have my favorite theme of, like, you know, dead party guys, but also it had a main grade 3 that focused on energy blasting like the DZ deck start bosses, but did it consistently, Sacrifice Glass, but then Bushy went above and beyond and did the third thing. This one was a 3 for 3. They gave us an alternate main grade 3. Now, y'all may be thinking, what do I mean by alternate when technically speaking you are supposed to run this with Sacrifice Glass being the right deck grade 3? True. But both of this thing's abilities are Vanguard skills. And one of them is really nice. Granted, you're not going to pull off the other one ever, but the fact that you can use this as an alternate main grade 3 and then use an alternate ride line so you can actually get ride line skills. Just saying. But she did what I've been wanting for so long now. 3 for 3, baby. We got the theme, we got the skill, we got the alternate grade 3s. Anyways, Grand Dogma, grade 3, 10% 30k base. Auto and is bound other than by the card ability of your card with the same card names, you put it to drop zone instead. Okay, it's a middle finger, quote unquote, to Sojo Doji if they try to bind this, but I mean, actually, it's kind of better if they try to bind this because, I mean, at least it gets it out and they can't put it back to your deck since you don't really want it in deck because you want to deck then it, even though, yes, Sacrifice Glass can superior ride it from deck. Auto Vanguard circle once per turn at the end of this even attacked into anything. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, kill it. Then if your bind zone is one or more cards with the same card name as this unit, choose another one of your opponent's rear guards, murder it. And then if your bind zone is 2 or more cards with the same card name as this unit, stand it. Okay, if you are building a deck with this is the main grade 3, this ability will never go off fully. It will only ever get off the free rearguard kill, and that's it. And the reason why is because the skill that binds it, so this skill can actually be useful, Auto Vanguard, at the end of your turn, if your bind zone is 1 or less copies of this, choose a copy of Sacrifice Glass from your soul, ride it as resident if you road, bind this card. So if this is your main grade 3, like if this is the card in your ride deck, you are never going to pull off this effect to its fullest extent because you have to have a Sacrifice Glass in your soul. And granted, you can just soul charge it, but like if you don't have one in your soul, then you can't superior ride, which means you can't bind it, which does kind of suck. But considering the fact that if this could be bound by other effects, Bushy probably would have found a way to break this card within the same set and basically mean on your first grade 3 turn, not only do you get this Vanguard attack, you get this second one, even if it has without drives, but then if you turbo it out, you would have the third drive, or not the third drive, the third attack, while also killing your opponent's rear guards and getting EB all off it for free, I might add. Which, it can't do that, but just saying. But she did a good job trying to prevent that. All around, though, very solid grade 3, murders rear guards on 2 different occasions, can stand and can replace itself, but also acts as its own main grade 3, which is nice to have for control decks, so, you know, it's just a good card in general, not even a support card. Then we have an actual support card and probably one of the most busted ever, Sweet Bait. Grade 3, normal order. Play it by counterblasting 1. Perform one of the following based on one of your Vanguards. I know. Something I want to say real quickly. In Discord, it takes a second sometimes for them to load, and I'm really glad I took a minute to wait until the cards got revealed, because this original skill said your opponent draws, and that's not actually how the skill works. It's you get to draw, and you'll be see why in a second, because it changed my opinion on how this card was, because originally I thought it was bad. Then because of the word change, I thought it was good. Anyways, your Vanguard's one who governs Ritual Sacrifice Glass. Your opponent gets all of your rear guards and all of your cards in your drop zone, lose their continuous abilities and auto abilities, cannot gain them, and cannot move from rear guard to guard circle, meaning it shuts off intercepts. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but at the same time, it also shuts off like any ability that's like, for example, the Shadow Paladin grade 2 from V that act as a PG against rear guards. Granted, that's not going to happen because V and D are two different formats, but if they did have something like that, this shuts them down. And then following this, your opponent chooses 3 cards from their drop zone that are units. They must call them to open rear guard circles if there are any, and then for every 3 you and your opponent rear guards have, you draw a card. So at most you draw 3 from this. But the important part is your opponent cannot stop you from drawing. Even if they leave their board empty, they have to call 3. So you're at least getting 1 draw out of this. But the important part is, you may be thinking giving your opponent 3 for your rear guards is bad. Well, coupled with the new grade 2 we're going to go over in a second, and this motherfucker over here, and this one, you can pretty much get that draw consistently, and your opponent's not going to get much benefit out of that. In fact, at most, your opponent's probably going to get 1 rear guard actually in total, because everything else is going to die that turn. So Sweep Bait's good for that. But then if your Vanguard's Grand Dogma instead, and this is why you would run Grand Dogma as your main grade 3, if your Vanguard was not placed during the right phase this turn, activate Persona Ride, then choose any number of cards with different grades other than Heal Trigger or Over Trigger from your drop zone, return to your deck and shuffle it. So basically, you can get a crit back, you can get a grade 1 back, you get a grade 2 back, you get a grade 3 back. All around pretty solid, but being able to get a free Persona Ride and force out or at least get numbers back is great. Again, this skill is a lot better because, draws out of nowhere, but all around Sweep Bait is a nice grade 3 order. I do think it's cool, so it's a 4 for me because, again, free call, force call actually, draw, and then all this bullshit, it's just great. Then we have Miasma, River Beast, Muradora, Grade 1 boost, 5 Kashiota, AK base, act rear guard, once per turn, soul boss 1, ditch 1, choose a copy of this from your drop zone, and it gets continuous. It can be played from drop zone, and when it be played and put into drop after being played, put the bottom deck instead until end of turn. So pretty much just play for Counter Blast and Soul Blast instead of going to drop, it just goes back to deck. And then auto rear guard, if you return Energy Blast 5, draw a card. I used to think this card was bad until I realized that the energy generator costs 7, and this is pretty much a 2-cost cheaper version of the energy generator that you are going to be able to charge up with thanks to Sacrifice Glass. This grade 1's good. Acts as early game rush, free draws, and not to mention the fact it can recycle your most busted order in the game. So 4 of Mudora. Then we have Eternal Musician Muji. Grade 2 and 5 Kashiota Tenkai base. So, okay, let's go ahead and get the bias out the way. We see the crescent moon in the background. Then onto his effect, which I love so much, auto from a rearguard circle, because they have to put some restriction on this. When your grade 3 rearguard Vanguard sacrifice glasses card attack, choose opponent's rearguard, murder it. So when this boy swings, kill a rearguard. Cool. And that ability stacks. So if you have 2 of them, you kill 2. And you energy charge 2 off it because that free energy charge skill. Then, by auto rear guard, when your grade 3 greater Vanguard Grand Dogma Carnium attacks, this can be in the background for that, by the way. If you're wondering why I'm bringing this up, there is that one order from Dark States that gives all your grade 2s boost, so 20k booster. This unique gets +1 power for that turn, also not once per turn. Neither of these abilities are once per turn. So Grand Dogma could actually make this thing a 30k swinger if you got the double restand off. But more importantly, if you found by some miracle of God way to restand this boy, you're going to kill more than 1 rear guard. And if you have 2 of these, you're going to kill a total of 4. Muji's a 4 of. I don't need to explain why. You all understand why he's a 4 of. Then we have Armed Arms Drill, some new Silhouette cards, grade 2 and 5 Kashiota 10k base. Of course, it was revealed a week after Misty Arc revealed. Were Misty Arcs revealed a week after Silhouette was revealed originally? I don't remember if they were. Anyways, auto Vanguard or rear guard when you attacks on anything, put a card with Armed Arms as a card name from your drop zone to your soul, and perform the following based on the circle this unit's on. If it's on Vanguard circle, if 2 or more units are attached to your unit this battle, it gets +1 critical, and then auto rear guard, it gets 5 power for that battle. So either 15k swing or an extra crit, all around pretty solid. It adds pressure to the Vanguard's attack, and at least makes it a 15k swing, so and it also gives you soul cards and armed arms, so it's nice to have, and I think it's a cool 4 of. And then we have Repair Robo Rani, grade 1 boost, 5 Kashiota, AK base, auto and placed on rearguard circle, soul boss 1, check the top 7, choose up to 2 armed arms with different card names from among them, reveal them, but choose one of them to put to the hand and discard the other and shuffle your deck. So basically the order, but gets 2 cards instead of 1. And then auto rearguard, when your grade 3 greater Vanguard with Sylvan's card name attacks into anything, I specify anything because it can be a grade 2 Vanguard, Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit until end of the battle when your opponent call cards in the guard circle, then just call 2 more at the same time. If you don't remember, one of the armed arms, specifically my favorite of the 2, the right one, the one that's blue, When you would swing into anything, if your Vanguard was a grade 3 or greater silhouette, you counterblast 1, kill a rear guard plus 5 power, specifically a grade 2 or greater rear card. Combine it with this, the other arm that doesn't require the opponent to be a grade 3. You now have the Vanguard who has at least 38,000 power, double critical, who now forces out 2 or more cards to guard, and if your opponent takes this, you have a chance to kill them with double crits. Ronnie's a good grade 1 offensively. F guarding power, top 7, what's not about it, easy 4 of. Then we have support drone Manny. Grade 1 boost 5 because should get basic auto input on guard circle. If you have a Vanguard solo one's card name, check the top 5. Choose a number of armed cards with different card names. Call them to guard circle, shuffle the deck. If you do not call, plus 5 shield for the battle. Okay, this card's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's free guard power. It's either a 10k shield inherently, or I guarantee it's going to be at least 10k shield, because you're either going to call at least one arm, or it's going to get the 5k shield anyways. But I just don't like Manny, just because, like, I'd rather focus on the offense, and to actively be fair, at most this thing's ever going to get us 20,000, and at least whenever I use my search skills, outside of the first 2 turns of the game, I'm not going to flip over, more than one armed arm in the top 5. And hell, I'll barely even flip one in the top 5. Most of the time, they're in the 6th or 7th card. So, Manny, as much as a good grade 1 as he is defensively, I just will never use him because I know my luck with the deck and it would not be worth it. So, if you do run him, 2 over 3 of, I guess. And now we move on to our last card for the day. First up, we have Protection Twin Cast. Actually, I don't even know why I instinctively said first up, because I was literally about to say that it's so weird that this is the only card Bushy revealed for today because, well, it's the final card of the set. Anyways, grade 2. Blitz order. Regalia's piece, you may only have one Regalia's piece in your deck, and you may only use a total 1 time per fight. So skill, choose one of your units being attacked, and it has the power for that battle, so free 10k to your being attacked unit, so that's a nice 10k shield. And then continues, the card's auto ability may be resolved, even if you have resolved the Regalia's piece ability this fight, which is auto drop zone. When your unit is being attacked, remove this card from the drop zone, choose a unit being attacked, and it gets 5 power to a battle for each grade of that unit. All around, this card is actually pretty good because it acts as 2 things in one, because, being able to add a regular 10k to your power is pretty solid, but then being able to add 5k per grade is also pretty solid, because that could end up resulting in plus 20k to Vanguard, or hell, if you're playing this in Griffogila, well, that is actually, what is that in Griffogila? 50k? 55k, depending on which one you're on. All around, Protection Twin Cast is a very solid grade 2 order, and yeah, honestly, in my opinion, probably one of the better defensive Regalia's pieces just because of what it can do. Either way, though, that's actually it for this one, which means that is it for set 3. So I hope all of you enjoyed, and in the next one, we will be covering more stuff from the Lyrical Booster set. So I'll see you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us for Twitch, and I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to snap your Vanguards.